thing you should know is that this is a very effective method, because research has it that the phone, our handset, our mobile phones, our smartphones have become an extension of ourselves, to a point that we feel if we lose this phone we are going to die. Okay, that's the way we feel psychologically, not like we are actually going to die. But you can use this psychological discovery to your own advantage. Hi friends, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Uchechi Jessica, and I'm so excited to have you back once more on this episode where I will be teaching you 5 fastest ways to learn a new language. I encourage you to watch this video to the end if you're trying to discover how you can learn that language that you are struggling to learn, or a language that you intend to learn, how you can learn it faster and with ease. I also encourage you to give this video a thumbs up if you end up liking it. Thank you. Do you know that there is a rising need to learn international languages in order to boost one's employability and also one's social relationships beyond frontiers? Do you even know that employers of labor expect employees to have knowledge of machine languages such as JavaScript, Python, C++? Can you imagine that? Talk more of human languages. So you see, it's very important to learn an international language, and by international language I mean the languages of the United Nations. There are 6 languages of the United Nations. They are French, English, Russian, Spanish, Arabic and Chinese. So if you can have knowledge of these languages, or at least 2 of these languages, such as French and English, or French and Spanish, or English and Spanish, or even more, you would want to watch this video to the end in order to learn how to be plurilinguists. By plurilinguist, I mean being able to learn different languages, to speak or to understand different languages, and not necessarily having a mastery of the languages you are speaking, but at least being able to communicate and express yourself in those languages. If you're learning a foreign language, you would want to watch this video to the end to understand how to learn that language faster and more effectively. Let's just dig into it. So I'm going to list the 5 most effective ways to learn a new language, and these 5 most effective ways are: learn the grammatical structure of that language, customize or utilize your social media handles and pages to learn that language faster, change the language settings of your phone to that new language or to that target language, use multimedia tools such as films and music, and also application softwares. And the last but not the least, get yourself a language coach. The first one is learn the grammatical structure of that language. Learn how that language works grammatically. Learn the parts of speech, the nouns, the pronouns, the adjectives, adverbs, verbs, and learn verbs. Learn how the verbs are constructed or how they are conjugated. Also learn interjections that will make you sound more like a native speaker. Learn the verbs, because verbs are the core of any sentence. So if you can learn enough verbs, you'll be able to actually communicate as if you know everything in the language. Also, do not fail to learn pronunciation, the correct phonics and phonetics of the language, how the oral pronunciations work, the accents, the intonation. All of these things I'll call them the grammatical structure, how the language works grammatically. And least I forget, also learn the sentence construction or structure of the language. It's called syntax. Learn the syntax of that language. For example, in English we have the subject, the verb and the object, always following this pattern. But in French it's a different pattern. It follows subject, object and then verb. So for different languages they have their distinct structure, sentence structure, and you should definitely learn these things. So identify these things and learn them. It will help you to actually learn that language with facility. The next one is customize and utilize your social media pages to learn the language faster. What you have to do here is to customize your social media pages to receive news feeds in that target language. If you're learning Spanish, for example, you have to subscribe to some pages that bring messages or posts in Spanish language. You should also add friends to your friend list. Add Spanish friends, those who speak Spanish, for example, if you're learning Spanish. Okay, so it will also enable you to see some of their posts when they make posts. There are lots of social media applications these days. There is X, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. In fact, there are a lot of them. I'm not so conversant with them, but you should customize these social media in order to receive news feeds in that target language, and also make friends, add friends in that target language. Once in a while you communicate with them, you chat them up just in that language. Another thing you should do with your social media pages is to follow online tutors who teach your target language for free. There are lots of them. There is Schema Foreign Language School, and it's also online, so you can follow them because they have several language teachers in different languages. Another thing you should do, which is the third thing, is to change your language settings to that target language that you're learning. So for example, you're learning French and you're just like 2 weeks into your learning. You should change your language settings. This can be a bit uncomfortable because you're still learning the language and all, but I assure you it's one of the most effective ways of learning that language. Mind you, when you customize your language settings, or when you change it to the target language, please make sure it's a phone that you are very conversant with. Make sure it's a phone that you are used to. Okay, so if it's a phone you're used to, it will be easier for you to follow up in that new language that you are learning. Another thing you should know is that this is a very effective method because research has it that the phone, our handset, our mobile phones, our smartphones have become an extension of ourselves, to a point that we feel if we lose this phone we are going to die. Okay, that's the way we feel psychologically, not like we are actually going to die. But you can use this psychological discovery to your own advantage. If your phone, which is an extension of yourself, is in that target language, it's very certain that you are also going to imbibe that language that your phone is operating on. And while you're operating your phone, you're operating in that language, and that is going to help you learn your target language with ease. The fourth thing is to use multimedia tools and applications to your own advantage. So what are these multimedia tools? You have your films, music, and games. Play games that have instructions or whatever configurations. For some of us who love to watch films or who love to listen to music during our pastime, we can use that to our advantage in learning that new language. Listen to songs, listen to music videos, watch films in that language you are trying to learn. It will help you learn the intricacies of that language. In fact, it will help you learn the accents, the actual accents that the native speakers speak the language with, not the one that you're speaking with, because you already have an accent. Also, download applications such as Duolingo, and there are other applications that enhance or facilitate language learning. Download those apps. They will help you to learn words, sentences, and also grammar topics in that language. You also have to install bilingual and monolingual dictionaries. By bilingual dictionaries, I mean a dictionary that has your source language, which is the language you already know, and your target language stacked side by side. And also you should download monolingual dictionaries that just have that target language, only the definitions, the examples of sentences, and other facts you should know about any word in that target language. And for some of us who have artistic flair, it's a time for you to explore your artistic flair in that target language. For example, if you love listening to spoken words, poetry such as spoken words or poems or songs or written pieces, do those things in your target language. You might not be understanding everything that you're reading or everything you're listening to, but with time you will start understanding. That's something I assure you. I must say it again. You might not understand everything you are doing initially in that target language, but with time, after an extended period of time, you would start to understand. You would start to imbibe and internalize that target language. The last but not the least way of learning a new language faster is to get a language tutor. No matter what you do, you just need someone who is like a coach, who will guide you. Get a coach, a language coach, so that even if you are comfortable learning as an independent learner, once in a while you meet with that person, you talk, you express yourself, you narrate your challenges in learning that language, and the person also guides you and points you to documents or to resources that will be helpful for you in whatever level that you are in that language. Happily, we have come to the end of today's episode. 5 fastest ways of learning a new language. I would love to see you in my next video, so please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. See you in my next video.